We're here. We are downtown Kenosha, where, I mean, looking around right now, this looks very, very different a year ago. Even a year ago today, we were last down here 15 months ago, and so kind of stuff. Now, a lot of this looks new to me, but I've got some racing for it because I did come down here a few times throughout last year, not to stream, but just to come out and talk. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. So I think we'll come back up around the corner and look around. I'll kind of show you where everything's going on. It doesn't look like there's going to be any rioting or anything out here, which is good. I like that, because I have so much family that lives in this fucking town still. But yeah, we'll get up here, we'll flip the camera, and we'll see what's going on with that and where this goes. I don't know if they're doing some construction over here or whatnot, but there's a lot of parking over here, that's for sure. I can already see some, and I don't know if some of this is because of the riots from last year. Right around here, as soon as I get up around this corner here. Behind me, this is the one-way street that's going opposite of where I'm going, but I mean, starting here, where's my control? There it is. Well, those of you who were watching my silent stream before will remember that this was, this is where, that was where the big riot happened, where we saw the mayor come out and then get chased back into the municipal building out there. That happened right there. And I remember, there used to be a building here too, and once again, I don't know if it was because the foundation got shaken or busted up during the riots, but I remember hiding behind that building when it looked like the tear gas was going to be coming out here. So yeah, this is one part of the landscape change already, and this looks good, and it looks like they're probably just finishing it up right now, because if you look around here, they did a bunch more over here. I don't know what they got for grants or anything for having the riots, or what they got for rebuilding grants, or what the city even got from the federal government for FEMA, but that's going to be a big thing. By the way, I just want to let everybody know, if you're listening back on the replay, or you're coming back and checking through this again, I will not be able, because of the device that I'm doing here, to see a live chat. So you guys are welcome to come back in and chime in and live chat in, but I'm not going to see it till I get back home. I apologize for the wind noise too. I don't necessarily want to put my hood up down here, just because of the implications of seeing somebody, in a hooded t-shirt and jeans down here reporting. I'm not dressed like the typical reporter. Keep that in mind. But none of this right now looks like there's an anticipation for it. It does look like there is a protest over there. We'll go get a look at that in just a second. But let me see if I can zoom in out there for you. Yeah, it looks like there's a gathering outside the courthouse. That where they're standing out there, that is the courthouse. So we'll avoid them. We'll go around that for now. But yeah, we're gonna go have a look at some of the stuff too that was damaged, and we're gonna look around for some other stuff too. I don't know where this is gonna go or what's gonna happen here. So let's have a look around. Play some fucking Frogger while we're here. And like I said, we will go down to the site and see what it looks like where everything happened. Across the street. Now you'll remember, this is one of the big ones here. It looks like we've got some news coverage too, but some of my competition perhaps. But this was, this is one of the major ones here. This was all blocked off with plywood the last time I was down here on a stream. So definitely it looks like they're not anticipating any riot, which I'm a little surprised actually that, a lot of this isn't boarded up yet, because I would have thought that today they would have already started doing this. We're drawing parallels here to the Chauvin stuff. But look at all these cars out here. I see, what did I see? CBS 58. I don't know where they're out of. Probably Chicago. I don't know. It just says ready weather. But yeah, there's the competition right there. I'll walk around that. Let's see. get around there. So I'm not in his shot. They're more professional than me, so we'll give them the deference. Holy shit, everybody's here. I see all these reporters out here in suits, and here I stand, cell phone in hand, and a sweatshirt and blue jeans. Probably packing better than these guys too, but there are enough cops out here. I don't want to say that out loud. So, a green, black, and red American flag. That's something I've never seen before. That's interesting. That's a new one. Court TV is here. Yeah, this one is going to be heavily publicized, I can see. I want to see if they'll let me get down there where I can get a better shot at where all that happened over there too. But, I mean, you can see now all the fencing is down. All the fencing that we saw last year, that's all down. The graffiti is all cleaned up. So, we'll give you a little bit of a timeline off of this too. I'm not going to stick around all the courthouse here because unless I've got a press pass and can get in, it's going to be almost pointless for me at this point. And, you know, seeing where all these other news outlets are working from at this point, looks like they're all on the west side of the road. Looks like there are a couple that are right up front watching the protest. But yeah, at this time last year, there was a big fence that went through right here on 10th Street or 10th Place. So that's what we see out of that. No parking. 11-1, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I mean, there is right here. But some of this could be for the news shots too. The wind noise, I apologize. Once again, if it wasn't for the atmosphere down here, I would throw my hood up. I know it blocks some of that, but yeah, I don't want to be a guy in blue jeans with a hood up. Hey guys, J. Edgar, turn some pages. Is it cool if I get down and get a shot of the municipal building, or?
What are you trying to do?
Just get I'm streaming out for turnsofpagesproductions.com. I just want to get a shot of the municipal building. Is it cool?
As like, well, I mean, all the media, they've just been hanging out around here. There's
okay.
Been no one, there's nothing going on in the public safety building there.
It's a comparison from last year was the only reason, because I was here when they had the big thing that went on over there. So if it's not cool, I'm not going to do it. But
no, I mean, if you want to walk on this side, you can get a quick shot and then just head on back. I got no qualms with that. That's cool.
All right.
You know, I get it. You want to do your investigative journalism and all that stuff. So
yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
You can see out here WMNS transmission, which I'm guessing is going to be transmitting some of this out here. No, they're running off Court TV. That's what they're doing, because they're all wired up for Court TV. WISN is here. This guy's up here, the producer. Hi, producer. I wish I had one of those. WISN guy's here. Hi, producer. Still wish I had one of those. But yeah, I mean, I remember coming around this corner here. We were at that park across over there, And they moved the gathering over here, and I just kind of fell into the crowd. This is the one they go this way. And yeah, there it was, right there. Because I was standing up on this ridge over here when all that happened. Those doors were ripped off the hinges. I mean, all these windows out here were boarded up. So, I mean, it's looking like it is wide open at this point. Wide open. They're not anticipating anything out of this. So, that's what we see. But I'm going to keep with my agreement. And, you know, we got the shot, so let's get the fuck out of here. All right, let's get out. That's all I wanted. I don't know why I keep looking that way. There's no cars that come from that way. It's a one-way street. So yeah, that's just the difference in a year here, and it is a completely different environment from what I can see. My hair is all over the place. I guess maybe I need a hair and makeup person too, in addition to a producer. Where are the producers again? Where are the producers? Jeez, look at that. Only me, as a journalist, would come out and decide to have hair for a charity in the middle of probably one of the bigger stories of my time. But that is me. Thanks, guys. All right, so we're going to head across the road here. And I mean, the interviews are already going, so we see these people out here having the conversation. You know, the interview's coming across here. Get out of the way, the police officer. What's that? TurnsOfPagesProductions.com. It's a new startup that I'm building.
Oh, okay.
So
what's your stance here? Let me ask you that.
What's that?
Clearly you come here. You in the middle? Where you at?
I'm kind of in the middle of a lot off of things, so, but I'm doing this investigatively instead of just coming out here to try and sway everything one way or the other. So,
right. Where do you stand personally? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm on camera, so I'm not going to go with that direction. So,
well, whenever you're off the record, no, listen. Turn the camera off. I want to have a conversation with you, the man. Like not you, the businessman, or just you, the man. I want to ask you where you stand this. And if you don't want to answer the camera, then.
When I swing back around, I'll look for it here. I want to keep going off of this.
I want to have a conversation with you, like not you as a businessman, but you as a journalist. Yeah. I just want to know how you feel as a person.
Yeah, I got you.
Because your opinion matters too. Like, believe it or not, you stand behind the camera, but you feel like you don't have the responsibility to weigh in.
Right.
You do, because you're a person. And like your voice may sway this argument one way or the other. Yeah.
It's understandable. Let me finish out with where I'm working here. I'll look for you.
I would love to have a conversation with you.
Awesome. J. Edgar.
Not Hoover.
No, not Hoover. Believe it or not, I've heard that a few times before in my life. Yep. All right. Trust me when I say that was not a conversation I wanted to have out here. But they want me to have the conversation. And he knows what I'm doing. I mean, it's not like it's not obvious. Alright. Let's look at some of this out here, though. It does look like there's a bigger police presence around the area, too. Not necessarily just around the courthouse, obviously, like we saw, but you know, there's the KPD sitting over there, sitting on back. I think there's preparedness, but I think there's some tension off of this. I wanted to run over here, and that's why I kept the camera faced frontward, is because this is where a lot of this started, and this is really where we first got the images of Kyle Rittenhouse, because he was cleaning up this particular wall right here, which is interesting, the fact that all the action's happening behind me over at the courthouse here, because it is literally across a park from the courthouse is where we're going right now, and this is where it all started. It was that wall, by the way, too, right there where that window is, was where he was first photographed cleaning up the graffiti. I know it looked like an overpass, but it was that wall right there. All right, let's keep going because I want to run down the road here for a bit and just look at some of the other action here. You know, and some of this stuff has become part of the graffiti too. Like the girl is polished nails, lashes, and brows with the phone number off of there instead of having a proper sign. You know, they're just using some of the graffiti off of there. Let's see. Yeah, all the boards are off the buildings here. KPD up there watching me like he thinks I'm going to do something. And some of the boards are still up too, by the way, it looks like, because we've got this storefront over here, and weed. Is Ruther in session today? I don't even know if Ruther's in session today, which I actually wouldn't be surprised if they shut down in preparation for this. Yeah, these are still boarded up. And when I was further up, I saw some other stuff too that was still boarded up. We definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, traffic is flowing. Last time I was down here, all of this was all blocked off, and this was still a fucking. That's all up and flowing again. I remember that was all boarded up, ready to go. Looks like maybe back in the rectory, there's still some boards in there. I don't know if I can catch that in a shot with the sun behind it. I can see it, but it's another one of those things where we're working with the sun behind us, and I don't know if that works. But that's the car dealer, which they're back up and running again. I want to ask you how you feel about all this. No, that ain't happening. Not down here. Not in this neighborhood. There it is. Back up in business. The building is back up there. I think we're going to see if we can't get a price up cloud. I think I'm going to see if I can get across the street. We'll go look at the church that almost burnt up too, that I got the interview that we never got fucking air because dumb shit me did the whole thing without his microphone off that day. Yep, everything is out here. It would be a real shame if this all dropped down and this was all destroyed again. City truck. Even with that C4 sitting up here. That would probably be the first one to go because it's fiberglass and it'll burn off like shit. Like in a hurry. Alright. We are going down. There's a reason I'm going down this way too. It's not just to come out here and show you the church that wasn't there anymore, which was actually already slated to come down. So the riots just helped that along. But we are. Oops, I'm gonna trip. While I'm playing Frogger, I want to fucking trip. That'll be the end of my vaunted journalism career. Tripping in the middle of the road and getting hit in fucking Kenosha, where I used to live but haven't lived in 10 years. I wish I could see the chat. I don't even know how many people are watching right now just because of the lack of instrumentation that I have on this, whereas I would usually have on my big computer. And the fact that I don't have a producer. But the reason I wanted to come up here, other than to show you that, yes, this is all functional, back up and full. God, I hope this doesn't burn. Because that's going to make a mess, a bigger mess than it was before. Is yeah, I mean, there's the church. There's the church where we had the interview that never got aired, and I feel so bad about that because that lady was so cool. That lady was so cool about everything. And she never got to tell her story. So to catch everybody back up to speed on this one, looking at this was a what had happened here was that when the car dealer was going up, some of the flames were licking back into the church, and somebody actually went through to try to turn the hose on so that the church didn't go up in flames, obviously. But the water was off to the church, so they were able to come down and knock I believe it was a rain barrel got knocked over too, and it was full of water because we had rain before that. And from what the lady told me, it was it saved the church. So that was I mean, that was a little white pill for you right there in the middle of everything. Once again, for an interview that never got to get aired. I know if Steven is watching this, his eyes are twitching right now. Please leave behind any fear, intolerance, and weapons. All are welcome. Worship services, children's program, big rainbow on it. Dude, if Steven's seeing this right now, his eyes are fucking twitching. And once again, I have no idea because I can't see any of the live chat. I can't see any of it. That was not the reason I wanted to come down here. I do want to take a look and just, I mean, once again, we're sitting off of here. Nothing is boarded up. Everything is back out, ready to go. I mean, we saw the people on this this bigger building, which I don't know what that building is, but that bigger building over there, the contractors were in there putting the boards up there. We were there before. What I specifically wanted to come down, because I'm going to show you, and I've caught some flack with some of the audience here over my views on what happened with this, with the actual situation. So I'm going to show you what actually happened and where it went in just a second, because we're actually back to the scene. Hopefully there are no big protests out there. I know the wind is atrocious. Let me get back to where I'm turning south. All right, we're back. I did the hood just because the wind was getting so atrocious. I need to keep some of the wind out of the microphone here. And I can hear it in my ears, so I know you guys can hear it in your ears too. So that's what we see out there. So I had to do with a little bit of run there because, you know, Frogger. We're playing Frogger here. The pants are fucking falling down too. Lose some weight, they said. Lose some weight. You'll be fine. Your pants totally won't fall down while you're trying to run across the street in Kenosha. One of the busiest streets in the city. You'll be fine. Alright. So we are going down to the site of where everything happened. We're going to go all the way down there. Which, I mean, you can already tell. We're quite a distance away from... Hey, look. Dude's got the Batman symbol on the back of his Cadillac. I'm going to try and not get his license plate in that, if possible. Because I think it does bear some sort of bearing on what happened here. And I don't know if there's more footage. So I am standing now outside of the gas station. So this is actually where I'm at right now, is the gas station where it all started, where they lifted the dumpster up and they were trying to push it up into the gas pumps. Yeah, that's where, I mean, everything started, was this area right here, this gas station. Which looks like they got all new pumps too. They got a bunch of stuff that's back out here, a little bit of new stuff up on the building, but yeah, this was the gas station where it all started. But now, where everything else was going on was the car dealer. This is where Kyle put out the fire that they were trying to push into the gas pumps. Which I can only tell you, that's why, I mean, that's not a good idea. Push a dumpster into gas pumps. Okay, and we'll stay on task for this actually right now. We won't go that way just yet, because there's some other stuff, things that I want to go and have a look at with that. Let's see. Now we're going to wait to play Frogger again. The new Bronco looks nice though. That's the other gas station across the street, but that wasn't the one that was involved. Oh, dude. The faster you turn that corner, the faster I can get across the street. Highway 50 over there. Another gas station, smoke shop inside. I love that. You love to see that. Yeah, the landscape down here has changed quite a bit. And it was over here where I had the conversation with the German news network out of Washington, D.C. They were standing over there having that conversation. But we've got to go just a little bit more. I will show you where everything went down. Because I know exactly where it was. As soon as I saw it all in the pictures, I knew exactly where it was. Put this around here for now. Somebody's going to get a really cool wig out of this hair. That's going to make it all worth it, but it is a pain in my ass right now. It's a giant pain in my ass. The murals have changed on the fence, so we've now gone to Kenosha, we love you. With the BLM still there. But we are coming up on the site where it all happened, and I'm losing my headphone. All right. So there is the car source. That's the other big player in what happened here. Excuse me. I mean, you can probably already see some stuff that looks familiar here, even though it's in the middle of the daylight instead of the middle of the night. Excuse me. Holy shit. Don't smoke, kids, because you get that little bit of crap in your stomach forever. Or not your stomach, but your fucking lungs forever. And then whenever it gets cold, everything contracts and it makes you want to cough a little bit more. But that is, with a line of traffic next to me, that is where Rosenbaum was standing. And Rosenbaum was the first victim, alleged victim. We'll go with what the courts had to say. Yeah, that's where Rosenbaum. I mean, you can see where we've gone quite a distance away from where the gas station fire was, but we're still here. I mean, yeah, people try to make it seem like this all happened within a few minutes, but yeah, that right there was where Rosenbaum was standing. And Kyle, from every angle that I've seen out of it, is when that shot fired off, was facing this direction. He was facing down towards these houses. And a shot rang out behind him. He was, I believe, standing in the road right here. Or possibly, I think he was, if I remember my angles correctly, he was standing where I was standing, not in the road. Now I'm thinking back and replaying this in my head here. But he was standing here facing this direction, right here, right in front of us. So shot rings out behind him. He's got to turn around, decide whether he's under attack, under fire, because he is carrying an AR-style rifle, as it says. And he shoots back this direction, 20 yards over there. Chase to him from here. Two people from that crowd came to give chase to him. And then he went this direction here, down up this street. But that's where I said that there's possibly a third-degree manslaughter unintentional off of this. It's because from standing right here, and I mean, when the damage was going, there was a car sitting behind me, just like there is right now. You don't know. You don't know at all. He might not have been in direct danger from that, but he didn't know. So he caused the death of another person, but it was unintentional and not directly clear if it was in self-defense. However, that charge is also not on the table. The prosecutor didn't bring that one down. So he can't be tried for that. And they can't come back and try him again for the same thing with a different set of charges either. So he'll walk on that. And that's the only charge I think they could have brought against him would be third degree unintentional. But yeah, then he ran up this road here, right up to Sheridan. You can see the houses over there that he was running in front of, because it was a residential area. And the second guy, right over that manhole, by the way, attempted to swing a skateboard at him. I don't know if you can see the manhole in the shot, but attempted to swing a skateboard at him and lost his life for it. And then Grosskreutz was over there on that corner, because I remember seeing the Freighter sign and all this. Coming up with a gun. And lost a part of his arm for his trouble. And then coming back up here was where we saw Rittenhouse with his hands up, walking towards the police cruisers in the barricade, because he was on this side of the barricade, remember. I pointed to myself. He was on this side of the barricade. We saw the police. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was a tank or an assault vehicle going up there with his hands up, ready to surrender. So as far as that went, I did want to come down there and just show you how that all transpired, because I saw it. And I mean, luckily enough, they were right in front of the hospital when it happened. But we're going to go look at a couple other things here that that have changed in here. I know that the furniture store never got rebuilt because I've driven by it since then. So that's not going to be a big shocker to me. None of this is a shocker to me because I've been through all these sites already. I went through and I saw the old historical buildings, some of which can't be rebuilt. The structure is down. They can't do anything for that. I was on a Discord call with Saint, and I think Seawall was there. And we saw just some of the carnage with that. Well, let's go over and look at the furniture store and then the parole building, as that's not too far off of where we were. There's the church, by the way. I used to go to that church here and there. My fiance at the time was Methodist, and I was not. Well, we were just dating at the time. We weren't even engaged yet. But she was Methodist. I was not. I was raised Lutheran. But that's what it is. I could probably, if I'm going to call up the landmarks, I could probably flip the camera so you guys can see it. Instead of being a vain asshole. I mean, it's not like I'm Clay Matthews or something where I have to go fix my hair every chance that I'm not in the shot or not talking. As of right, I mean, this is so different from Chauvin and Minneapolis too right now, because we're not looking at a situation that I can see where people are hunkering down and waiting for massive protests. I mean, we saw the small protests up by the courthouse, but I mean, it was pointed out to me as well, the fact that, I mean, we're sitting in a situation where it wasn't a black person that was killed. Yes, the person that was killed had the same politics as these people, but it wasn't a black person that was killed, so they're not going to be out here to protest this. For the most part, we see more of that than anything else. But yeah, there was a nice fall off, unfortunately. And this is another one of those historical buildings that requires an artisan to repair. They can't just get a regular repair crew out here and do this. This actually requires an artisan to do. There's more police. They're probably looking around wondering what the fuck I'm doing. I bet you I get stopped throughout this today. But it's part of the reason I didn't come armed is because, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to look at me funny with a knife on my hip. Otherwise, all of my tire needs there because, you know, it's a really good place to go. It used to be a furniture store. Now it's green space. Well, the grass came back nicely, at least, given the fact that it was torched to the fucking ground. But yeah, the construction crews came in. They relocated down to 75th Street, out west of town, like everybody else in town, which I'm sure they got a big insurance system. You know, it's the thing that kind of pisses me off about this, is that people like B&L Furniture came into this neighborhood specifically. Like they could have gone, the entire world was moving western Kenosha. Part of it was cost. But they also wanted to come down here and furnish this part of town. There was no business in this part of town. They wanted to have workers from this part of town. They wanted to help this part of historical town. And they caught a Molotov through their fucking window for their trouble. That pisses me off. That really does. But now they've gone with everybody else out there and moved out to the western Kenosha, out past Highway 31. Just like almost all the jobs in town. Luckily enough, the public transit runs down there, but still, this is a situation where, you know, you can't walk to work anymore if you live down in this neighborhood. There's no place for you to do it. There are a couple gas stations, and that's it. And yes, I understand that the furniture store was a retail store, and that's not going to be like a get-rich kind of job or career off of that, but it's still something where if you're in a pinch, you can go to work and you can walk, and you don't have all that much to worry about. You know, if you break your foot, that's about the only thing where there's a problem. And of course, the parole office, that's never coming back. That was a 150-year-old building. Yes, it held a government office, I can say that. And I can tell you right off the bat that the government function that they were doing sucked. And honestly, I see parole offices all the time where they take advantage of parolees because they got them in a fucking pinch. But regardless, that was a 150-year-old building. A historic building that they took down off of this to make a point. And you know this was one of the first ones that they hit, too. Especially the protesters, because I'm sure a lot of them were on parole. Hey, all our paperwork's gone. We're not on parole anymore. So, yeah, that was some of the other damage that we saw there. We can possibly go uptown for a little bit, but I don't know else. But I mean, that's what I needed to do. That's why I needed to walk down here and show everybody is just what happened down here. We'll go back to the courthouse. We will see if I can avoid getting into something where I'm going to get myself fucking stabbed, because I know it's coming. They want to make sure that everybody that comes down here has the right politics. And I'm sure all these nice, big, spiffy suit guys have the right politics for them, but I don't. I don't. I can tell you that right off the bat, I don't. I'll keep the hood up for now just because the wind is at my back. And it'll shield out the microphone. Or I'll knock the earbud off my ear again. As far as what's going to happen here, I don't know what's going to come. I know that we've already seen a situation where the jury is going to be walking through a small protest. But other than that, I always wanted to get a stealth. Now I'm doing car stuff. It's not for sale though, unfortunately. That's on 2 flat tires. 3 flat tires. It's got 1 good tire on it. Maybe I'll take them over to Ed's used tire and go get 3 tires on it. And of course your 6-liter Power Stroke. 7.3, that's where it's at. That right off the bat. That is not going to happen. I'll stay on Garden Road. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know this is going to be. Will there be some sort of intimidation? I don't know. I can't answer that. Or is that be that I'm not going to name on this particular live chat is saying off of this, by the way. I'm sure there's all kinds of criticism. It happens. I'm new at this. I'm new at on the ground stuff. I was lucky enough that I was able to figure out that I could put my headphones in and the microphone would work with the with Streamlabs. Oop. Ah. But yeah, that is my hometown in a nutshell, and just a little bit of a look into where everything happened here. It was a little bit crazy. And to think, the last time I was here, this road was impassable. There are people out there that were drawing stuff. I want to be the first person who got to drive on all the BLM stuff. I want to see what that person looked like when they were done with them. Because if you remember, and I mean, I know that there was a lot of rain and snow and everything else that's passed through here since then. No, there hasn't. Has there? My God, I can't get my timeline straight. No, there's been snow through here because it was last year. I mean, this whole thing, this entire year, has just felt like it's just been one continuous thing over and over again. I just got ran through facial recognition. I saw him do it. I'm sure they're not happy that I'm out here doing the job of their fucking corporate press. Put the camera here. We got actual customers out here looking at stuff. Probably don't want to be filmed. A very different air in the atmosphere too. I mean, it was just as clear of a day the last time I was down here. I can tell you that right off the bat. But I mean, there's not as much tension here as there was before. And I mean, if I went downtown, I'm sure, well, I am downtown, but like if I went down to the yuppie area downtown, I'm sure that about half the buildings would still have the boards up as a show of solidarity. Yeah, okay. A show of self-righteous fucking pandering is more like it. And the other half would be out there, down there, open for business. I mean, when we went by the church over there, we saw buildings that were boarded up before. Oops. Buildings that were boarded up before that are now fully wide open, opened up for business. Houses. The, not the rectory, what the fuck is the name? The parsonage. The parsonage here. No, that is the rectory, I'm sorry. I was right the first time. The rectory out here, that was all boarded up before, because I mean, this was all in the line of fire. So-called. The high school, Ruther High School, where we saw the kid for the first time in pictures with his hat on backwards, not knowing what was going to happen later on that day. I do find it interesting that he was able to get into one of the major shots that we all know and love so quickly, so early on. That's interesting to me. But that's where we go. And this is Kenosha. We just did the loop of violence for that night. The other thing that always got me is, I mean, this is downtown, yes, and they wanted to bring the fight to the government, which I've told you is a very bad idea. When you bring the fight to the government, well, when you bring the fight to the government and you have not super progressive politics, you're in for trouble. But even still, when you bring the fight to the government, but I mean, the entire incident that happened with St. Jacob, hallowed be his name, was 5 miles in that, you can't see my finger, 5 miles over in that direction. 5 fucking miles away from here. And they came down and they burned this area down to the ground. There's more protests out there. Looks like it has grown a little bit throughout this, but yeah, this is not the level that we were seeing before. This is not, like, if this was as big of a deal to the left-wing politics as the Chauvin case was, which he had to go. He had to, otherwise their narrative completely falls apart. But if this was as big of a deal, I mean, where I'm walking right now would be an autonomous zone. It would. You know it as well as I would. This whole park here would be fenced off, cordoned off. They'd probably have concrete barriers around it. Don't know how the hell they would have moved those. Honk, honk. The Dinosaur Museum would probably be taken over. But what we see now is this. And that's what it is. Graffiti cleaned up, protests outside, colors I've never seen before. I'll have to go look that up when I'm back up off the ground. But yeah, this is Kenosha in the midst of the Rittenhouse thing. So I'm going to sign off of here. Thank you guys so much for watching my stream. We got just about an hour's worth of content into this. I'll probably have some great live chat to go back and check out when I get home. So thank you guys for that. But for TurnSomePagesProductions.com, this has been a walk through Kenosha and the pre-trial for the Rittenhouse thing. Unfortunately, we're still a small-time thing, and I still have to work after this, but we'll be done after this. I won't be able to come back down throughout the rest of the week, but after that, we will see you on Contemporary tomorrow morning or the Red Ned Show tonight. Until then, I'm Jay Edgar. Take care.